Hey everybody, I'm up here on Hawks Peak. I'm not at the very top because they haven't groomed the trail up to the very top. I'm just below it. I'm staying to the groomers today. I skinned up here this morning because I just wanted to see if I could catch some of the helicopter activity that's going on up at where the avalanche happened. I'm going to flip this around and kind of give you a lay of the land of where that occurred. Okay, so that is Frog Lake Cliff. Right down here is the lake basin where the huts are, where they were. They left the huts here. You'll see two saddles. There's this one, and there's a higher one right here. That's called Red Dot Pass. They left the huts from here, went up and over Red Dot Pass. I've been over that pass a number of times, but only in the summer. They went up and over Red Dot Pass. It goes back around the backside of Frog Lake Cliff. The actual slide happened right about in this area, but on the backside of Frog Lake Cliff. They were in the gully down there that separates Frog Lake Cliff from Castle Peak, which is right back there. And yes, it does kind of look like a castle. So they were in that gully back there behind Frog Lake Cliff when the slide occurred. If you went to the link I sent where it showed the picture of the actual slope where it happened, you'll see that it is a fairly open slope with some immature trees here and there, but the slope is surrounded by mature trees, and that is usually a pretty good indication that it might be a potential area for an avalanche. So when you get down in that gully and you're back there, if you don't know that slope is above you, you are going to have a false sense of security because it's pretty well treed back there. And so they're probably traveling through there if they don't know the terrain and they don't know that slope is up above them, because you couldn't see it that day during a blizzard. You've put yourself into a dangerous situation. So that's unfortunate. If you know the slope is there, then you're probably not traveling through that area during a storm like what we had. So I thought that the helicopter activity was done for today. There were a couple trips this morning and then it just stopped. There were a couple Avy bombs that went off, but that's usually the local ski areas around us. But these bombs are pretty loud. So I'm curious if they set off a couple of bombs as part of that effort to clear out any other potential avalanches. They were using water with a big bucket from a helicopter to do the controlling of the Avies. It actually worked. I saw some footage where they set off a whole slope. So I thought that helicopter activity was done, but actually a helicopter went over me, and it was a military helicopter with a red cross on the bottom of it. It's back there right now. I can hear it. They're doing something. So I don't know if they're part of the extraction phase of this or what. At some point they're going to bring the cats back there with the snow machines, and they're going to start to pull the 8 bodies that they have corralled in an area outside of avalanche terrain. And then there's a 9th body that's missing, and I don't know if they're going to be able to find that, or, I mean, I don't know, the off chance that this person is still alive. That would be amazing. If not, you know, hopefully they find the body, and if they don't, then we'll probably find it at some point in the spring or summer. I'm going to flip this back around. I don't know what more to say about this situation, other than it's now being investigated as a criminal investigation, criminal negligence, and given everything that we know about the situation, I think that's probably the right call. Someone's probably going to jail for this. The guide company is probably done for. They're going to be sued into oblivion, I think. Just some really bad decisions made. You know, they left on Sunday to go into the huts, and by Sunday we all knew what was headed our way. The avalanche warnings were already issued, so we all knew what was coming. And then the second bad decision was to actually leave the huts on Tuesday, which was the big day, the peak of the storm. Absolute blizzard conditions, whiteout conditions. I went out in it on flat terrain, and I was up to my waist breaking trail, and at that elevation that's on the windward side of this ridge. They must have been breaking trail at least waist deep, probably even deeper. just a bad situation all around. I don't know what else to say about it other than stay safe out there, and hopefully I'll see you soon.